of you, thank you for joining
everybody.
us. We appreciate it so much. This is my wife, Sharron.
That's right.
We've been together for
Few years.
how many decades?
A few.
And it is amazing when we look back, because I've got a lot of the old videos, and you look at the person on the screen and you go, who is that?
I know.
It's like, have you ever watched or gone through all your old pictures or whatever, you pull those out and you start looking at them, you go, I look that way? Are you kidding me? But TV is kind of that way. The only problem is the people out there that have watched for these 40 plus years have experienced Herman and Sharron aging right before your eyes, at least me. She has stayed
Well, yeah, right.
without aging. But we have two guests today that are really fabulous. We had Nolan and his first wife about 10 years ago, I think you said.
About a decade ago.
And
you two look the same,
Yeah,
by the way,
sure.
after all that time.
we covered this back in the green room. This is what he's supposed to say. But is what your wife passed away?
She did.
Breast cancer, right?
That's right, yeah.
And
A friend of mine who did part of the funeral had the best line of the memorial service. He said, "She ran off with another man."
oh, yeah.
That's great.
Great. But now, Nolan, say your last name because I hate butchering names.
Lewallen. Lewallen.
Lewallen.
It's like a luau.
Yeah.
in Hawaii.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Lewallen and his wife Kim, and you guys met how?
She came into my church. She wandered into my church.
So you were
and
like attending the church?
Yes, and I made a beeline for her in the meet and greet time.
And my first thought was, great, I just found a church and somebody's hitting on me. That was my first thought.
Okay, I think I'm going to look for another church. but I mean, so apparently that was a singles group?
No, it was just a regular
How did you know
church
she was
service.
single?
Well, I saw
She was
her.
alone.
I saw her walk in.
Got a husband at home.
I was talking to a friend of mine, and I kind of saw her walk by. I noticed she didn't have a ring on.
Oh, there you go.
I told that friend, well, brother, I got to get into the service. We'll see you later. But
Boy, you are aggressive, aren't you?
yeah, well, I tell you what. I mean, you can see why.
Yeah,
The Lord has really blessed me.
Oh my goodness!
great.
Now, just so you stay with us, we're going to cover Nolan's book right here, and we're going to get through that. And there it is on the screen. And by the way, get your copy because there's a website. It is a wonderful read. I mean, it's you can refer to it because there's enough information in there that really you should refer to it. And then tomorrow you will see Kim, and she has her own book, and we're going to be covering that. Kim was a Olympic swimmer, and awards coming out the wazoo. And just recently, in fact, you got another. We'll cover that too, but it's amazing. Her story, you will want to hear it. Sexual abuse, rapes. I mean, it's how she's here is obviously God's hand protecting her. Absolutely. So anyway,
Amen.
let me just tell a little about you. Nolan is a retired pilot of a major airline. He has two great passions: the Bible and politics. That actually
It goes
it's
together.
pretty close, isn't it? They go together, right? And in fact, there's a controversy whether a guy preaching in the church should ever bring up politics. Yeah, I'm sure you are aware of that. So,
Right.
but we're going to cover your book about the integration, and he actually crossed out the word separation of church and state. And the reason we want to cover that is because this subject is constantly covered on CNN and all the, the liberal stations, whatever, and actually any news stations, because somehow we fell into the trap of
Yes.
saying
Amen.
that we are separate
Right.
from all religion, don't even get near it.
That's right.
And I'm going to let you explain and walk into that because that's a big
Yes,
part of what we're
yes.
talking about.
And it's a lie. I mean, we're talking Bigfoot.
Yeah.
They get that from a letter Jefferson wrote January 1st, 1802. And, you know, they always suck us into a debate on the letter, and I'm happy to debate it and win.
Yeah.
But
now you say letter.
the
In other
letter
words-
that Jefferson
Yes.
wrote.
Yeah, and how did it creep into the Constitution, Bill of Rights, every aspect of our government?
Yes, well, he wrote the letter to the Danbury Baptist in Connecticut.
Wouldn't you know Baptist has something to do with that?
Exactly, exactly. And but we've got to remember what nobody ever talks about. Nobody ever says, "Wait a minute, time out. That was a letter. It was a personal letter." Jefferson wrote more than 20,000 personal letters in his lifetime. So, you know, imagine those same people who enshrine the words of Jefferson of that letter into law, and imagine what they would think if we tried to take a tweet from President Trump and make it law. I mean,
Wow.
there's really no
Be a
difference.
lot of laws going on.
There's really, yes, there's
That's some
really
good ones.
there's really no difference.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just very unfortunate that many have misunderstood that in the best cases.
I don't. I think on the newscasts, they don't misunderstand it. If they had it printed in front of them,
Right.
they love the way it's being handled today.
Right.
Keep religion. In fact, the Democrat convention that they, weeks ago, because you may be seeing this another time, but they've had a convention. Not one time did they mention God.
No.
Right.
Okay,
no.
so
they
as
took
far
it out
as
of the Pledge of
as far as the
Allegiance.
Democrats are concerned, there is no religion, there is no God. That's used to be.
That's right.
So they would never change it if it was, unless it was a mandate, and I don't know if they would change it if there was a FCC law.
Right.
Right.
Well, and that's what I say. It was misunderstood in the best cases, but in the worst cases, they used it as a weapon
Yes.
to silence the church.
You said the right word, weapon.
And that most of them know better. But he and we even had a Supreme Court justice who misused that term.
Exactly.
Hugo Black said we must keep that wall, the fictitious wall, high and impregnable when he was in a decision. But,
Wouldn't it be wonderful if you had the ability, the authority, standing in front of him and say, "Excuse me, where did the term wall come from?
Yeah, really?
Is that your word, or is that someplace in the Constitution?" And obviously, you can't do that because first of all, they would say you are disrespecting, this. Basically, they have as much authority, probably more than the president, the Supreme Court.
So where does the separation come, though?
Oh, okay.
Where it says separation of church and state.
It's like I say, it's a lie. It's nowhere in there. Jefferson only mentioned this wall, referring to the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment, and he said the Establishment Clause only places restrictions on the government. Only, not the
Starting
church.
a religion.
Doesn't even mention the church.
Yeah.
It said Congress can make no law. Congress makes laws. Churches don't make laws. He was only referring to Congress. Congress can make no law that would establish a religion, a state-run religion like they got away from in England. That's number one. Number two, or prohibit the free exercise of religion.
Yeah.
And in the voice of Mel Blanc, the voice of Porky Pig, that's all, folks.
That's right.
That's all it says.
Yeah.
And they've tried to make that a law. But like I said, it's a personal letter. But whenever he went on...
Wouldn't common sense dictate that it would have to be the government that requires it?
Yes,
He would,
yes.
In other words, the government could set up a church,
Yes,
like they did in
yes,
England,
of course.
and say that you have to worship this particular church.
Of course.
Well, they would be, but wouldn't it be common sense to say now, if they didn't do that, how could then a church start a state religion? They couldn't.
Right,
They'd
right.
have to get permission.
Right.
But isn't that
They would
just
have to
kinda,
make a law to
that
do
just
that.
kind of clouds away. It's like there's no way they've got that kind of authority. The government's got that authority.
So when he went on to complete that and said, thus building a wall of separation, he was talking about a unidirectional wall to protect the church.
Exactly.
And think about it. Most walls are unidirectional. On our southern border right now, we have a wall being built, and with all due respect to the I love the Mexican people, and I've spent a lot of time down there, but let's face it, there are no Americans, generally speaking, trying to sneak over into Mexico. It's a unidirectional wall.
Isn't it interesting? Like you did what everybody does. We all do it. When you're talking about you're for the wall, and then you have to preface right afterwards. I really love the Mexicans. It's like
yeah,
but
right.
It's a
Right.
natural reaction. It's
Right.
like if you mention something about a certain homosexuality. That's just
People
Exactly.
are going to label
Exactly.
you racist or
right off the
homophobic.
bat. So you don't like homosexual.
Right.
So you got to say the
Exactly.
Bible talks this about homosexual. Oh, by the way, I love homosexual.
Right.
I mean, isn't it interesting? We're in a
Exactly.
we're in a box.
Walking
Yes.
on eggshells.
Yes.
But and they try to say, while we're talking about the wall, they try to say, oh, you're uncompassionate.
Oh, yes.
What?
Yes.
I'll tell you what, I have a lot of compassion, but you know what? Who I have compassion for? I have compassion for those 3,000 families of the 9/11 victims. I have compassion for the 15,000 or so young girls trafficked across that southern border. I have compassion for the people, the 40,000 who die every year from fentanyl and heroin. Yes, we do have compassion. And I'm really weary of the expression, well, there are some good people. Look, there were only 19 involved in the 9/11 attacks. 19, of course there are some good people. And
But doesn't it boil down to we are a nation of law and order?
exactly.
And so you're welcome, but you need to do it the right way.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And not just let everybody in
Exactly.
that really don't want to be a citizen or they're not. They don't.
I think we're all for
Exactly.
immigration. The legal is the
Exactly,
key word.
the legal
It's kind of
Well,
like
not all of us are,
you guys,
unfortunately.
you guys live in Texas, right?
Right.
You have a home. What if somebody knocked on your door and said, "Oh, by the way, I'm coming in, and I'm going to eat at your table," and you go, "Wait.
Exactly.
There's a way to do that. We would be glad to have you come in, but you have to check with us
Right.
and determine whether we can do this. I mean, of course we wouldn't do that. That's just common sense.
Right.
But it's
And-
like anybody can walk in, and all the others have to go through this rigorous time of going through all of the tests and everything to become a citizen,
Yes.
plus money.
Yes.
But then they can walk in and cut into the line, and it's okay.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point about just our personal homes. How many of the people in Congress who are for open borders, how many of them have no locks on their doors or no gated,
They have private
entrances?
security, actually.
Yeah,
Right.
well, right. And so
Yeah.
They're the same ones that want to
And
take the
walled
guns away.
communities.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's just madness going on right now. Madness.
But as a pilot, during that 9/11, I mean, someone could have selected
Oh,
your
absolutely.
airline.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that? I mean,
it
did
hit
that
close
cover
to
your
home. I was
thinking?
Sure. I was out flying. I was on the ground when it actually happened in El Paso, Texas.
Did you know? And I ask this to people. Did you know when that first one hit that it was terror, or it was just an accident? As a pilot, did you compute the guy
Yeah.
must have lost
Terror.
his.
Terror.
You immediately, first one,
Yes.
because I accepted it after the second one. It's like okay, the guy, came too low across New York City, and I mean that's a stretch, but I mean you're a pilot. But the second one is like, okay, there's no.
Right.
This is.
So you thought the first
Terror.
one, huh?
Yes, I did. Now, you could get other opinion. There may be other
Yeah.
pilots who questioned it. I thought it was terror
Immediately.
Yeah.
When we look at what is happening today, I mean, we're talking about anarchy. Can you imagine coming from that? Because remember how we all, even the Democrats, held hands on the steps and all prayed
Yes.
together?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
the attitude was like, all of a sudden, it's like Christians someday when they're put behind barbed wire, they're not going to say, are you charismatic or are you Baptist? Are you?
Right.
Because
Exactly.
I don't associate with. I mean, we're
Right.
all together.
That's
And
right.
at that time, it was like there was
Unified.
no party system here. It was all together.
Mm-hmm.
But move that into our times now. I mean, the atmosphere is absolutely toxic.
That's right.
That's frightening.
And you hate to, I kind of hate getting partisan. You may have to bleep some of the things I said, or maybe put it in your.
not on
maybe
my
we were
part.
talking
They
about
have
your
to bleep
bloopers.
me.
This may go in the bloopers.
Well, they be
show.
bleeping him all the time.
I'm the one they believe. I don't care what you say. It's like, and if
Yeah.
you thought that was bad,
Right.
you got to be kidding.
But,
No.
but honestly, we just you look at the great divide now. The Democratic Party of JFK is no longer the
Oh my
Democratic
goodness, it's
Party.
gone. It's gone.
It's-
We have to
and-
look at the reruns to find out what he actually said.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. I just speak to the Christians out there. It has gotten to the point. It's hard for me to understand how a Christian can be for the Democratic Party, and that's going to make some people mad.
It's funny you should
But-
say
but-
you should say that because I do another program with my Dr. Davis, my son-in-law. He teaches the Word of God. It's just the two of us, and we go through the Word of God. And so I was talking about that. In fact, I even said that very thing. And this lady writes me a nice letter. I mean, she said, "Well, I've watched you for years, Herman. Watched you for years." Because we used to do a coffee club live, and I even loved those coffee club lives. And she said, "I will not watch you again because of what you said about the Democrats."
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, and I sent her a nice letter back, and I'm thinking to myself, when I was reading, I go, oh my goodness. I mean, how you could read their platform
Yeah.
and realize that
Murdering-
you can murder a baby
Murdering
even
a
when it comes
million-
out at
Right.
9 months.
This is the party of infanticide now.
Yes.
And open borders, radicalism, socialism. Where it says in Deuteronomy 30, choose you this day, and blessings or curses, life or death, blessings or curses. I mean, I believe, and that was a little different in that it's talking about choosing your God, but it's the same. I think we have a similar situation choosing the right candidate in this election because, literally life and death. I mean, it's, abortion
I call it-
or not abortion.
I call it right, wrong.
Right and wrong.
Okay. I mean, it's pretty simple.
Blessings or curses, the blessings of capitalism that has made us the most prosperous nation in the history of the world, or curses that go the way of.
Oh, we have to look. Talking about socialism, that's what they're for. Actually, it's democratic socialist.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
Yeah.
That defines them exactly. When I
What they
watch the
become.
convention. When I
Yes.
watch the convention,
Yes.
that defines them. And I mean, and you look at what happened in Cuba, Venezuela, North
Yes.
Korea.
It's
China.
never worked. It's never worked.
Yeah, but they're going to shave it a little bit so that it works.
when they start out.
And they talk about Norway or Sweden or well, they're not true socialist countries. They've taken a few
Yeah.
pages out of the
Yeah,
playbook,
yeah.
but even those countries, their taxes are about 50% of the total economy, where ours are about 25%.
Yeah.
And if you look at the patents, you know,
In fact, that's in your book.
it is.
And it's on page 99 when you get your book, by the way. It's a great. It's who experiences wait times of greater than 4 weeks to see health specialists. And of course, we're always talking about health care, and that all the other countries have it. Like you've got what the length of time is for each one of those, and it's like 4 weeks.
Yes.
And Canada, France, Switzerland, and U.S.
Yes.
is the least time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yet we want to explode the thing.
Right, right. And we want to follow after these bad examples. And it's just like you've got a congresswoman who was a refugee and comes to this blessed country and now wants to turn it into where she came from.
You know what I equate that to? It's amazing, and it's actually happening as we are talking. The Democrats that have controlled many of these cities, they're trash bins.
Oh, yeah,
And I mean,
yeah.
and they're trillion or millions of dollars in debt
Yes.
because of the way they run as governor, whatever. And so what do? The people are leaving, like New York. Where are they
Yes.
coming? They're coming to the places where Republicans have been running it all these years.
Yes,
So
yes.
they want to turn
Right.
the red state into blue.
Right.
And then they'll kick back and go, why is this thing falling apart? Because you put in a Democrat as governor, and
Right.
that's why we're exactly like the one you left now. I mean, it's like,
Proverbs 29 says that when the righteous or holy are in authority, the people rejoice.
Yeah.
I don't see people rejoicing right now in Chicago, Portland, Seattle, New York,
They're losing everything.
Minneapolis.
They're losing everything.
You know, they're not rejoicing. So
in Wisconsin, the two automobile lots,
yes.
they firebombed all of the automobiles, and I'm thinking, the owner of that lot, how many years it took him to
Yes.
put it together, how they sacrificed, how they went to the bank and sat there and tried to get loans or whatever, and now it went up in flames. Because
Yes.
now they're finding out that the guy that caused all of this when the cops shot him, they're showing videos of what he did prior to that, a day
Right.
before or whatever. I mean, it's like, so in other words, what we're supposed to do, if a guy runs at you with a knife and going to stick it in
Right.
you, as a cop, you go, okay, I can't do anything, go ahead and stick it in.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be
it's-
better that I take your knife than burn the city down.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It's
thought he was gonna hit
law.
me
I
there
thought it
for a
was
minute.
karate chop, yeah.
I know the distance here.
It's complete lawlessness.
Yeah.
It does say that in the last days, lawlessness will abound.
That's right. That's
and,
right.
But, you know, and so we know it's inevitable, but by golly, on our watch, we can pray, and I believe we can prolong that and not allow that on our watch.
Well, he covers in his book economy, immigration, foreign policy. You're a great writer. I mean, you do a lot of research, apparently.
Well, thank you. Yes.
Health care, gun control. The St. Louis
biggie.
couple, did you see that one?
Yes.
Yes.
Where they were going to, save their home.
Yes,
And they're arrested the people that tore their gates down and
Yes.
and actually shouted to them, "We're going to sleep in your bed tonight."
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
other
yes.
I mean, think about that threat.
Yes, yes. Well, and ever since there have been there's are weapons all through the Bible. You know, Jesus told his disciples at his last Seder meal, that we call the Last Supper. He said, "If you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and buy one."
But the people you're talking to with that don't believe the Bible at all.
Right, right.
They're going, so you're one of those religious zealots, aren't
Yeah.
you? That's where you get that stuff for. And see, that's why they have to confiscate all the guns and actually Bibles and the whole thing, because this is our marching orders.
Right.
And they want to eliminate that.
But there's so many people who are believers who have blinders on their
Oh,
eyes.
you're right.
And I think this book it's so good because it takes the Word of God and it takes those different topics and it shows people to direct them. Because a lot of people are, they're cafeteria Christians. They just kind of go through the Bible.
Good comment.
Or they don't
Yes.
believe that it's the inherent Word of God.
Right.
And so I just think he did such a great job in using the Word just
he
to show what God's perfect will is. On
And
this.
he even covers abortion.
Yes, that's the
Yes.
longest chapter in the book. Actually, we have literally wiped out an entire nation
Yeah.
Yeah.
since Roe v. Wade. 60 million people,
And you know, you
more
talk
than
separation.
Canada,
More than Canada.
Yeah.
Argentina, Spain, rapidly approaching UK, Italy,
Yeah, wow.
France. We've wiped out a whole nation.
You brought up the fact that the separation of church and state was a lie. So was Roe v. Wade.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it
That
started
should've
with
never
the
happened.
premise, Jane Doe, total lie.
Right.
I had them on, the lady that they used her name.
Yes.
Yes, and she turned pro-life.
Absolutely.
Pro-life.
She
and
said she was a confused 21-year-old
Right.
girl.
She admits it was that they took what she said and
Sure.
invented
Yes.
that whole story,
Sure.
which a Supreme Court bought it, hook, line, and sinker, and made it. You can make the interpretation of the Constitution anything you want to be.
They've
Yes.
gotten rid of Margaret Sanger now that it's come out what she was
Yes.
doing.
Yes.
You know, she wanted to wipe out a certain race of people or whatever.
Yes.
So now we don't talk about her anymore.
I think they
Yes.
still give a Sanger Award at
No,
the.
they didn't
They
this
don't
time.
with the.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
They stopped it.
Okay,
because
that's-
It just came out about, I just read that they didn't have it this year.
Okay.
Well, Planned Parenthood actually has
They had
a
a
awards
singer.
banquet where she's honored.
It's called
Yeah.
the Sanger Award.
Yeah,
the
that's
Margaret
what
Sanger
didn't
Award.
happen this year.
Yeah.
And David, and I'm not just trying to, influence the election, but I'm calling a spade a spade. I don't care which party, but
See how you
David
have to preface
Delyden.
that? He has to preface that. See, you notice that? Let me cushion that.
Here we go again.
Just go ahead and let him have it.
Okay, David Delyden, who did the investigation and caught on secret camera
Yeah.
them selling
Oh, yeah.
body
Oh, yeah.
parts.
Oh, yeah. He's now in-
What happened? He
Horrific.
should be
He's now-
praised.
He's now in litigation.
He should be a hero. The vice president's candidate, Kamala Harris, actually prosecuted him.
Yes.
Not Planned Parenthood.
But it's not over. He's still going through
Right.
litigation.
Yes.
Wow.
Right. So it's crazy.
The books are great. This, you need to get a copy. It covers all the subjects. We've just kind of skirted through it. It's got many chapters, and information in it is detail. It's not just like conversation. But this is still the greatest book. That's good.
Amen.
Open the Bible today. Read at least 2 chapters. Do that. God bless you.
Amen.